Let's do rabies. So you guys have a canine yearly and you have a feline yearly. You have a 3-year or no?
No, and not in our county.
Rabies, not in this.
Okay. Now, do you guys want to set up reminders for kitten and puppy rabies also, or no?
Those, let me see if that was on my list here.
I'm looking.
I think those are inactive. Yeah, those are inactive, so just the adults.
Okay, just the adults. So now if these are inactive, we do have an action code you can put on these codes, so it'll turn them gray.
Okay, great.
So we'll put the dash action code on them, and then it will turn them gray like that. So if somebody tries to use them, it will let them know that these codes are inactive.
You know what? They're this is tricky because they are included in a package. I don't remember how Lisa set this up.
We're going to have to set up case care totally separately. So let's just focus on the reminders right now and understand how to do that.
Yeah, that wasn't anything to do with case care.
Oh, okay.
Now I asked them, they said normally a clinic coming out of conversion, we will help them set up reminders. And then they'll go over how to enter in vaccine history, set up stop codes for series. And then they said how that we don't recommend manually removing, adding, or changing patient reminders from the reminder tab window.
Okay.
But I'll go ahead, like I said, I'll walk you guys through how to set up reminders, and then I'll also give you guys a document that will walk you through setting up reminders. So we need to set up reminders for the canine and feline rabies. So like on this canine rabies here, we do a right-click reminder, and it'll say no template found. We'll say yes to create one. We'll just select the species of canine, and then we'll leave this to say every year since this is a yearly vaccine, and then you'll just click done. On the feline one, we'll do the same thing, a right-click reminder, say yes to create one. We'll select feline, and then we'll just click done. That creates reminders for the canine and feline rabies codes. Now, once all the reminders are created, we will need to do either a rebuild and global apply or just a global apply according to whether they'll be remind as. Like you guys may, I'm sorry?
Go ahead.
I was just going to say with these here being inactive, if you guys have used these codes and you want them to now be showing that they're due for the yearlies, we can have these codes remind as this code. So what will happen is if code 154 is put in medical history, it's going to show on the reminder tab that they're due in 1 year for code 150 on the reminder tab over here.
Okay.
Do you guys want to do that?
Yes, because I think it's included in like our like a final kitten package, but it's just not charging for it. So I think it still might be an active code. It's just it still does need a reminder for a year out.
Okay, so do you want to leave these as active then?
Yeah, if you can do that, just in case. Okay. I just hate to.
Okay, we can do that. And then what we'll do is we'll do a change here. And then this will be reminding us code 150. And then this one will be reminding us 140. So we will need to do the rebuild and global once we're completely done then.
I don't know what that means.
Anytime a code is reminding as another code, you'll have to rebuild medical history because that's what it's going to be looking at to show the reminder template correctly. Because it's looking for code 154 in medical history. Once it sees that in there, it's then going to show up a reminder for code 150 on the reminder tab. So now to look at your reminder templates, you can go to File, Print, and then Reminder Templates. This is going to show you guys everything you have reminders for. So
Okay.
you have a reminder on code 140 and 150, but now these are reminded by. So code 154 is reminding as if it is code 150.
Okay.
And code 155 is reminding as if it is code 140. Now, do you guys want to create reminders for any other rabies codes?
I don't think anything else comes up on our list, no.
And I think the other thing that we wanted to see was we had some that are reminders for prescriptions. So like under the RX, the ProHeart would need a reminder.
Okay. So for the ProHeart, okay, you just have one code for ProHeart?
Yep.
No, we have all different. We have 4 sizes. Is that not coming up?
Oh, you know what?
Not in inventory.
And that's pulling inventory.
Oh, and it's coming. You have the 4 different ones in your treatment list.
Yeah, that's going to change because what we're not doing there is we're not charging by volume, but we'll figure that out. So how different
now,
is a reminder?
That's going to change then according to, how you guys are going to have them set up. Are you going to be moving them to inventory or just taking them down to one code or?
That's a good question that I don't have an answer for.
Okay, because if we set up reminder templates for them and then you guys don't want them, they'll have to be all removed.
So,
or if you have the code in your treatment list and move it to inventory, the reminder will have to be removed and then put on as when it is an inventory an item and not a treatment.
Okay. Can you think of any inventory items that would have a reminder code on it?
Bravecto?
Yeah.
Okay, can we see that one?
Sure. Now, what you'll want to do, besides your ProHeart, according to what you guys do with that, all of your flea and tick medications and all your heartworm preventatives you'll need to group together in the same series. So your Bravecto, is that heartworm preventative?
No.
Just flea and tick.
Just flea and tick. Okay. So on here, we would do a right-click reminder, say yes to create one. And this is just for canines?
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Okay. And is it every 3 months or?
Yes.
Okay, so we do every 3 months. And then for series name, we're going to put flea/tick. In this series name, it won't really matter, what we call it, because we're going to copy the series name, and all of your flea and tick medication will be under that series name.
Okay.
So,
and can you change it to 12 weeks? Can you get that specific? Because that's what the company wants us to do.
Yeah, we can change it to 12 weeks.
Okay.
And then for inventory, you'd want to multiply interval by quantity sold in case they bought 2. Then it would show that they're due in 24 weeks.
I got you.
So then we would click done there, and then the next one would be a right-click reminder. We'll say yes to create one, then canine, and then this will be 12 weeks. And then we'll just paste that. It's going to have the same exact series name. and multiply by quantity sold. So all your flea and tick medication, like frontline stuff, will all have the exact same series name.
Even though the reminders will be different?
Yes.
Okay.
And I'll show you guys what it'll look like here in just a minute. Okay, so it's going to show all of your series members in here. So like even with Frontline, it'll say Bravecto and Frontline and any others you guys have in the series members.
Okay.
So when you go back, and now you won't be able to look at your reminder templates from inventory, but you'll go back to your treatment list. And then in here, it shows all your Bravecto.
Okay.
Now when it comes to like distemper, do you guys have like an initial distemper and then a 1 year and 3 year, or?
That's something that we really need to talk about because that's definitely an area of opportunity that we probably do need to look to change if we're changing software. So as of now, we just have one code for an adult distemper parvo and then one code for distemper parvo lepto.
So what you're asking though,
Okay.
if we had a first distemper or puppy distemper vaccine,
Right.
How would you set that up? So, I mean, we can add a distemper vaccine to this.
You mean like if you had an initial and then a 1 year and 3 year?
Is there a way for this to pick the next code?
No. Now it'll tell you here at the bottom your highest code for this category. But now even if you put in 4837, it may be a code in a different category. But it will tell you though. If you put in 4837 and then click OK, it'll tell you if there's another code that's using that. Yeah. So that's it looks like it's already being used.
Let's try 157. Okay, so we got a 157.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I'd like
it'll be at the bottom.
So distemper, should I put that puppy, juvenile?
I would just put, you can put puppy. Do we want to flush it out to 1, 2, and 3, you know?
That's what I wanted to ask. So can we do where it reminds us every 3 weeks for 3 consecutive reminders, and then or 2 consecutive reminders, and then that last reminder is for 1 year?
You can do that, but you're going to have 2 separate puppy codes. Because if you stick a reminder for every, let's say, 3 weeks on this code, it's going to be every 3 weeks 3 times until after the third one. Then it's going to be 3 weeks, and then it's going to show they're due for the yearly. So because you want the third one to be 1 year later, you're going to have this one be every 3 weeks 2 times, and then create another code that says once it's given 1 time, then 1 year later it'll show for the yearly.
It'd be like a final DHPP puppy or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So $158 is taken. Okay, so this one, we go reminder. We set up a reminder template. This is canine only. It will
Uh-huh.
remind every 3 weeks,
Mhm.
twice. No,
Yes,
twice. 2 times.
twice. And then you're going to give it a series name. You can call it like DHPP. But now whatever you give this one, you're going to copy that and give the others the exact same series name, so they'll be in the same series.
Got it. So I go done, right?
Uh-huh. Yes.
And then I go to the puppy final, go
Mhm.
reminder. Yes. First of all, it
Uh-huh.
was DHPP. And this
Uh-huh.
will remind 1 year,
This one's going to be 1 year. Uh-huh.
one time.
And then we'll associate the canine species. And then on this one, because of the puppy one is rolling down to it, we're going to need to check remind if never treated. So once the puppy one's given twice, it's then going to get rolled down to this code.
Uh-huh.
And then when we create the yearly one, that's every year, that will also need to have remind if never treated checked, because it won't roll down in the series unless it does. Now on the yearly, there won't be no patient to be treated one time because it's going to be every year after that.
So I go done here, and now DHPP, reminder.
Uh-huh.
Oh, wait. So, wait. Canine, and it's 3 years.
Mhm.
Remind if never treated, you said.
Uh-huh. And then the exact same series name.
Okay. So the only thing that we don't have is we don't have this one set up as a remind as. We need to remind that.
Now, you wouldn't need to do a remind as because it has a reminder template, unless it's reminding as itself and another code.
No, it's reminding. So once the final puppy distemper is done, it should remind us as the adult distemper.
The 107?
107, yeah.
Okay, and that's what it's doing. If we look in here at the reminder, we have, and we'll put these in order. So what it's going to do is once the puppy's given twice, it's going to roll down to the final. Once the final's given once, it's going to roll down to the 3-year. And it's going to be every 3 years after that.
Okay, so this patient treated one time. So does that mean we treat the patient once and then it rolls to the third one?
Yes.
It's not going to be we treat him once and we remind him again to treat it again in a year.
No.
Okay.
What'll happen is, and I'll show you guys here, if we, now is this pet in the clinic now?
No, all of this, we're still in the conversion process. We don't have our set.
Oh, okay.
So you can do whatever you
Okay.
want with this.
Okay, let me show you how this will work. So we'll give the puppy one. And because we're testing this, we can't give the codes out of the same series on the same day. So I'll have to put them in differently. But so what this will do in 3 weeks, it shows that they're due for another puppy one.
Mm-hmm.
So if I go in here and I change this to tomorrow and I give a 157, it's going to show in 3 weeks for the 162.
Okay.
Because it shows twice now in medical history. So we had it to do twice.
Got it.
So if we put the 162 in medical history, it's going to show then for your 3-year in 1 year.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's how that'll work. The number they count times is looking for the number of times it's put in medical history before it throws up the next one in the series.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah, thank you. Okay, that makes great sense. I understand that. Do you, Beth?
Okay.
Here's mud.
So let's do, we've got like first, second, and leukemia booster. So this one, we would go reminder. And this is Feline, and it.
Uh-huh.
Are we doing 3 leukemias or 2, Beth?
2.
3 weeks for 2 times. No, 1
Uh-huh.
time.
Yes. So they just get that once. Oh, because you have a first and second code. Okay.
We have a first, second, and booster.
Okay.
So the first one we give, and then 3 weeks later we would give a second one, and then that should remind us a year later for the last or the adult one. Okay, so that's that, and then this one reminder, and this is every 1 year. Every 1 year, patient to be treated 1 time.
And then because that one's rolling down, it'll need to have remind if never treated checked on the second.
So the first one doesn't need that.
No. The first one would only need that as if you guys want to have a start at age. Now, some clinics do that. They'll say, okay, I need this to start at 12 weeks. If you do that, you'll have to check remind if never treated on the first one in the series. Now, what that will do is it's going to show on every cat, even if they've never had it.
Oh, okay.
Some clinics want that and some don't.
So
most of them don't want to send out, postcards or reminders to cats who've never received it before.
Makes sense. Okay, so that was our leukemia one. And now if I go file, print, reminder templates. So there's our feline, 3 weeks. 3 weeks, 1 year, 3 years. Perfect. Okay. Okie dokie. How do you do remind as?
Now, remind as is used for a couple different things. If you have some clinics, they will get, maybe they're using IDEX and then they go to Abaxis or vice versa. So they had codes on one of them, or reminders on one of their codes. Well, now they've switched over. They got new codes. The descriptions are more or less the same, but their codes are different.
Right.
So they would obsolete the old codes, remove the reminder templates from them, and then have those old codes remind as the new codes that would then have reminder templates.
Okay.
So that's what the remind as is for. Or, even if they have an obsolete code that maybe they had 2 of the same thing in there that they had been using, but just different codes, they would have one code remind as another code. So they wouldn't be using 2. They wouldn't have 2 of the same codes in their treatments or inventory list.
So now I added this one, it's going to throw my reminder up there. Can I switch this to, I can post it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. I understand.
Oh, it adds it.
It's adding another 107 because it's for the same date.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, if it was different dates, it would have been in there for the next one, which I don't remember the code of it. But
I did the adult one, so it should have reminded as the...
Oh, that's the adult. Okay, yeah, then that would be the 107.
Okay. I think that's what I need. I'll go ahead and get the information sent in to you guys, and we'll see what happens with it. September, do we know if September will be back tomorrow?